wonderful opportunity to come along and visit the mind of Matt Archbold, creator of Creative Minority Report. And Dave, there's a lot of great stuff on that site today. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did. And I really, Matthew, I want to begin really by taking our introduction and the title to this in a different direction. What is on the mind of Matthew Archbold? Things are crazy, and they're continuing to spiral out of control. We have so much in front of us with this election that's coming up and the various directions that's taking. I really want to, and I know we kid around a lot, but I want to take just a serious moment and just say, how do you do it? So you're delving in on our behalf, coming up with some wonderful information, letting us chuckle about it with a little bit, which we really need to do. But how do you keep yourself kind of centered on the Lord and able to operate with any joy at all when you are in the midst of all this degradation all the time? We read the articles. We don't have to delve into every little bit of it that you do in order to bring this forward for us, you and others like you that are willing to go into the depths of this thing. How do you keep from kind of becoming depressed about the whole thing, I guess?
It's funny you say that, because when years ago I did actually have a thing, I had an issue with that. You know, you just read so much terrible news.
Yeah.
But I think now I've gotten to the point where it's just, you know, you can move the world, but you need another world to stand on in order to do it. And I feel like I mean, as you get older, you just get a little more solid in your faith. You just believe it more. And it's just in every action and every thought and every word in your life. You know, it just kind of happens when you mature. And I just feel now, like, when I see this stuff, I just see it as, you know, I see there's still good news here. You know, the fact that we can still laugh at this and say, this is obviously wrong. This is obviously silly. You know, I remember reading C.S. Lewis years ago in Screwtape Letters. He wrote about, you know, Screwtape and the demon were talking, and they said, we have to get these people thinking in the terms of materialist magicians. That's who they have to be. And the first thing we have to do is convince them that everything is just material. And then they must contact these forces, and we'll leave it nebulous out there, you know, forces in the world, and they'll contact them for some slight magic. But we won't name, you know, there's not an entity out there that they name specifically, but as long as they're contacting those forces, we'll have them. And you know, when you see C.S. Lewis essentially predicting exactly what we're looking at right now, you know, it inspires me, and I think all of us to continue on with this and just be able to be shouting out and say, hey, look, this is the wrong way. Turn around. We're all in danger.
Well, as we look at each of the stories, as we look at each of the goings on, in every one of these cases, you are, as a writer, as someone who's trying to uncover the information in a good way to tell it to us, you're looking at the face of Satan, and I would imagine one of the things you come up with is, he ain't that bright. He keeps doing the same thing over and over again, and we fall for it. But his power to influence us, once we bump into some of the truth, it becomes very difficult for him to have any power over us.
Well, it's funny you said the face of Satan. If you were to ask the media and the elite right now, who is the face of Satan, I think they would say Harrison Butker, the Chiefs kicker.
Right.
You know, is this guy really the face of Satan? You know, all the things going on college campuses across this country, Harrison Butker is what we're focusing on.
Yeah.
Campuses across the country are being lit ablaze by students, but Harrison Butker is the real problem. Students are blocking Jewish students from attending class.
Yeah.
But Harrison Butker is the real problem. You know, students at Duke marched out of their commencement because Jerry Seinfeld was Jewish.
Yeah.
But Harrison Butker is the real problem because he espoused Catholicism. Did he do it in the exact way I would like it to be done? No. Was he? Did he speak like a football player and just a regular dude? Yeah, but Travis Kelce chugged a beer for his commencement ceremony to some group. Is there any outrage about that? No.
And it costed his coach, by the way.
Yeah.
Physically, it costed his coach on the sidelines.
On national TV, he costed a 70-year-old coach.
Yeah.
And everything is absolutely fine. And, it's just, it's funny what we get outraged about. It's funny. One of the things that people are getting outraged about, and I put it down today, is administrators at schools are asking students to write down their pronouns. And a growing number of teens are writing down, my pronouns are USA.
Nice.
I love it. That's good.
And now the funny part of that is one, it undermines the whole, so they're not playing the game at all, which I love. Mm-hmm. They're just undermining the entire question. But the outrage that this is causing among administrators is just phenomenal. And here, in this same time, we have children essentially lobbing off body parts. They're going on all sorts of drugs that are going to do terrible damage. We have others sharing Wicca spells on TikTok. But all that is absolutely fine to do. But these kids writing down USA for their pronoun, that's the outrage. Mm-hmm. And it's just this insane selective outrage, isn't it? It's just so wild, and it just shows you how upside down everything is. And that it just gets easier and easier to do my job because the world is so upside down. And when you see it, it's just so obvious. And all I have to do is point and laugh.
That's what's great about your work with, not only Creative Minority Report, but all the things you do. You bring these things to the fore to really kind of demonstrate and illustrate just how ridiculous they are and how wrong-headed it is. You don't need to say it. They speak for themselves when it comes to that kind of stuff. And just to point that out, that's a wonderful gift. So much there today, and I love the story about, for example, the Knights of Columbus, who for 60 years have been doing a mass at a cemetery on Memorial Day, and they can't have a permit this year, and I think last year they were denied as well. So they're suing the Biden administration. And you can get all those details, creativeminorityReport.com. Matthew, it's always a pleasure to catch up with you, and always uplifting as well. You kind of fortify us a little bit, so thank you for that.
God bless, guys. Thanks.
Thank you for what you do, Matthew. We appreciate you, brother.
God
Peace
bless.
on you.